Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yes, Netflix! Yes, girl, keep canceling your amazing, wonderful shows for this Oscar-worthy movie. Said no one ever. I'm not gonna let you waste 2 hours of your time like I wasted 2 hours of my time. I'm going to spread the gospel and tell you everything you need to know about Uglies, because this movie was terrible. Might I've gathered you around here because Netflix is really up our booty hole trying to tell us that we need to make more money. Who has the winner idea? Anyone, please. Okay, fine, Jeff, what's your idea, mate? I heard this amazing idea. Everyone on social media is talking about what an epic movie it'd be. It's never been done before. I'm gonna stop you right there. No one wants any new ideas. I don't know what you're talking about. Jefferson. Do you think you're a founding father right now? My name's John. John don't care about your ideas. Does anyone actually have good, refreshing ideas? First off, Disney remake. Oh my god, yes, I love it. Extra points if you have some POC on there, especially if you get one of them blocks. Book adaptation is gonna make us so much money. Bonus points if no one asked for the movie. Yeah. Why don't we just throw a dart and see where it lands? Let's go. Yeah. What do we get? I'm so sorry we had to summon Joey King. This is the one thing that not a single person has asked for. It's perfect. This movie was terrible. And the worst thing about it is that it wasn't a bad movie type funny. It wasn't Tall Girl. It wasn't Twilight. It wasn't The Kissing Booth. No. This was straight up garbage. It was boring. There's one thing about me is if the movie is boring and bad, you're done. I hate you now. I didn't remember these books because I read them when I was younger and I don't even remember anything about them. I don't think I liked them that much because I obviously would have remembered, but maybe I read them too young. I don't know. The movie is off to a Shakespearean tragedy start because tell me why you're doing the one thing you learned when you come out of the womb and you want to be a scriptwriter is show, don't tell, but you know what they do? You know what they do? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, just like they told us. They info dump us, and I don't know if it was just the ADHD little mind who couldn't focus and couldn't concentrate, but in the first 30 seconds, I had to replay it 3 to 4 times because I was not retaining any of the information. You know when you want to read a fantasy book and you want to get into it, but you're so worried that it's gonna be just so overwhelming trying to get into the world? That's how I felt watching this stupid movie. You're already losing me and it hasn't even been 60 seconds? Crazy. World record. Maybe that was like the scriptwriters trying to warn us saying, hey, probably should cut off this movie and go outside and touch some grass. But hey, if you want to waste 2 hours of your time, this is the perfect opportunity for you. C's get degrees, baby. The movie starts off and the probably 16-year-old brunette protagonist tells us she's always wanted to be pretty, which if you really want to be a Wattpad main character type beat, you should have said, I've always wanted to be ugly. I hate being pretty. That would have been a more interesting concept, like, oh, you're so quirky, you're so different. You don't understand my life. Whenever I'm at a concert reading a book, British tattooed male lead always falls in love with me. I'm just there to read my book. Or one time, my mother had to pay off her debt to the mafia. So she sold me to a British boy band and they all fell in love with me because I'm so pretty. I just wish that I was ugly like you. Our protagonist tells us that hundreds of years ago, war broke out, the world was ending, terrible things were happening, blah, 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 blah. And you know who those people were called? Rusty. So you, dearest viewer, you are rusty, crusty, dusty, and you're ugly, and you're stupid, just like your mom. Thank you. Thank you for telling us how ugly we are. I know it's not the point of the movie, but have no fear, scientists are here. No, not the science kid, okay? We couldn't get that guy. But we were able to get evil money-wanting scientists. They were able to find a solution to end the war. So even though scientists were able to stop the war, you know what the real enemy was? Human nature. Yeah, being stupid and ugly was the reason the world was a terrible place. Everything that's going on in the world right now, yeah, it's because you're stupid and you're ugly. Wow, we have ended human conflict. Amazing, wonderful, riveting. The scientists have a solution for this. They say, oh, okay, well, if you're stupid and ugly, we're just gonna make you stupid and pretty, and that's gonna solve all your problems. And so at the age of 16, you get to go through a transformation where you get to be wonderful, pretty, gorgeous, stunning. You get to live an amazing life. But the thing is, you get to be healthy, you get to be happy. I've realized why a lot of these dystopian books and shows are following teen protagonists, because realistically, adults, they're giving up. I feel like maybe it would be the sort of thing where survival instinct would kick in for most people. I would hope so. But you know, like a zombie apocalypse, most people are just gonna give up. They're gonna be like, what? You're not taking away my iPad? Oh my god, the Colleen Hoover fans have taken over. The apocalypse is here. They're making everyone recite Colleen Hoover quotes. Oh my gosh, we have to take shelter. We have to go. They literally meant it ends with us. They literally meant the world ends with us. Oh, I haven't caught up on my YouTube subscriptions yet. Give me a couple hours and then maybe I'll meet you down there. But the world is ending. If they get to you, they're gonna make you read that book about step siblings who talk about their child's balls. Oh, shh. I don't care. I don't care. I'll go down when I'm ready, okay? You're dismissed. Stay safe, be so, no. Anyway, shh, you're interrupting me. That's how I know I could not be on one of these dating shows like Love Island, I Kiss a Girl, etc. because you're telling me I can't be with my phone? What am I supposed to do? Stare off into space? No internet? Girl. No wonder these people were losing their minds because they have nothing better to do. I don't know. These teenagers just have a lot of gusto, you know? It's not even just surviving. Like, you really are out here trying to change the world. Don't you just want to survive? Don't you just want to live to see tomorrow? Why are you trying to take down the system? You have time for that? That's crazy, bro. But everyone who is under the age of 16 or just opts not to get the procedure, you are a troll. You are a goobly goblin. And even the goblins under the bridge are gonna cross the street because they're so afraid of you, because you're so ugly. And these people are called Uglies. That's us, bestie. Uglies. So we see our main character, Tally, in the mirror trying on the filters. They have technology where you can see what you're gonna look like when you're pretty, and this filter is the bold glamour filter. It's so embarrassing. She does not even look that different. I know the point is that the pretty people are supposed to be ugly and the ugly people are supposed to be pretty, but she doesn't even look that different. Okay, they should have done it way more drastic. I think in the books they made the plastic surgery way more drastic, but in this it's just a bold glamour filter. And a lot of people use that unironically on TikTok. We need to step up our game. This could have been a really interesting commentary on plastic surgery and whatnot, but this movie was just so dumb. It was so stupid. But during this, she gets a text from Nose. Yes, his name is Nose, and you know who's playing him? The guy from freaking Outer Banks, Chase Stokes, is that his name? Someone made a comment, and while I'm personally more of a Drew Starkey girly, someone said they had to make Chase extra ugly so he could look normal. Which is true. They made him uglier when he was ugly. What? So Talia knows, they go off, scramble, and sneak somewhere, and they're watching a pretty's party. They're using their little technology to look at the party that they don't get to go into. Because why? They're ugly. Take a shot every time I say ugly. You're gonna be dead in 2 seconds. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that unless it's water, hydration. And I'm pretty sure there was a Lucky Smith cameo in there somewhere. Unless I'm tripping and getting my white boys confused, which does happen. It does happen. I thought he was gonna be an actual character, but no, it was just a cameo. Just like we never saw Lucky Smith ever again, Netflix will never see me again. The second that I have self-respect and will end the second that I have self-respect and will end my subscription, yeah, it's too late to apologize. So back to Nose and Tally. He is getting his surgery tomorrow. They're having a nice heart-to-heart conversation, talking about how things are never gonna change. He promised 2 things, which me, as an empath, I think he's only gonna do 1 if we're lucky. No, not that lucky. But me, as an empath and knowing men, I said, this guy is not going to keep his promise, but okay. 1 was to keep his scar, that even though he was going to get plastic surgery, he was not going to get the scar on his hand removed because it has a symbolic meaning to him and Tally. And then 2, after a month, he was going to meet her at the bridge and update her and tell her how pretty life land is. Dearest viewer, do you think that he did any of the above? Cash your bets. When I was watching this, I said, okay, he's gonna at least not do one of them. And that was me being hopeful. I was being a little delulu there. Because he's a Gemini and she's a Virgo, they're not getting surgery at the same time. She has to wait 3 months. There are some underlining romantic feelings with these characters, but nothing ever gets confessed. One of them says the famous last words, nothing's ever gonna change. Okay, someone clearly needed TikTok at that time, so you would know that that is the famous last words. Kiss of death, if I say so myself, for relationships. And bro was ready to confess something, probably his feelings for her, but they get interrupted. They gotta scurry away because they're little sewer rats. They gotta go back to their little home so that they're not caught, because what they're doing is low-key illegal and they're not supposed to be out and about. But here they are. Rule breakers, rebellious teenagers. Honestly, the dialogue is terrible. Who wrote this? Whoever is a scriptwriter for these Netflix movies, they're all the same person. I talk about this a lot. I don't know if I've ever said this on a YouTube channel, but this is the problem with Hollywood. The people who actually can make really good scripts and make really good content, they're never gonna be able to get into Hollywood because you have to be a little nepo baby and you have to have all these connections. And naturally, if you're only hanging around the same type of people, you're gonna get the same content. So these amazing stories that could have been, they're not gonna happen. So we keep getting the same trashy ones. So anyone who's in the entertainment industry, good luck to you. Proud of you for pursuing your dreams, even though the cards are stacked against you. Proud of you. Good for you. It's always possible, you know? It's not impossible, but it's very hard. So good job. And I know I'm sounding sarcastic right now. That's just how my tone is sometimes. Oh, that's really great that you're doing that. Like, period. Honestly, Joey King plays the quirky Wattpad main character too well because every time I see her now, I'm mad. She's my sleep paralysis demon at this point. Her and Nicholas Guillotine need to be in a movie together. That's gonna be the final boss of quirky characters. Nicholas Guillotine, Joey King, boom. Oh my god, they could be in a Colleen Hoover movie together. So Nose, whose real name is Peris, but it's spelled with an E, is very much giving Peris, Texas, Alima, Ohio. So Peris spelled with an E. Here we are. Happy birthday, Peris, and my little two-faced Gemini. Honestly, side note, I love Geminis. I know Geminis get a really bad rap for being two-faced and gossipy, but honestly, the gossiping part, that's why I like y'all. Y'all got that tea, y'all got that vibes, y'all got that energy. But Geminis are just so interesting to talk to. I'm like, wow, what did you just say? Did you just hear yourself? That's literally crazy. But this Gemini, Peris, no, we don't like this man. First of all, I don't care about any of these characters. So for his birthday, Nose and Tally are in a room full of people around their age, and everyone gets to see them walk off to the little ceremony. But hey, teacher, hey, quick question, do they do this like every day for everyone's birthday, or like are they like genetically modified so that a bunch of them have the same birthday, so you only have to do it like once a month? Yeah, get back to me, teacher. But seriously, I had this genuine question, because imagine if you have to do that every single day. That'd be so boring. Imagine watching everyone get hot while you're an abomination ugly freak of nature. That's so funny. Can you tell that the meds have not kicked in? How did we get here? How did we get on this tangent? I'm genuinely asking you. How did we get here? How did we get from A to B? I'm literally trying to forge intimacy with you by just info dumping you and trauma dumping you so that you feel like we're connected. I'm so sorry, Best. See, now I'm calling you Bestie. I'm so sorry, my parasocial pen pal. Forgive me. Forgive me for my sins, father. But anyway, Peris and Tally, they're saying goodbye and they hug for a little bit too long, and Skinty legend, yeah, her name is Skinny. Her name is Skinny. Which, first of all, this is gonna come up a lot. Okay, some of the nicknames in this, they make no sense. First of all, we have Squinty, we have Skinny, we have Nose, which all three qualities are now what people want, okay? People want to be skinny. People like guys with noses for reasons I'm not gonna say on camera. And then people have been trying to do like cat eyes, to do like more smaller eyes. This movie is not aging right, okay? Yeah, those qualities were not acceptable in the past, or like when the book was written. I feel like we should have updated it. It should have been someone called Hip Dips. That's crazy. Who came up with that? Please do not let all of this chronically online information get to your head, because trust me, there are so many people who, if you say hip dips to them, they're gonna think to themselves, what did you just say to me? You want to dip in my hips? Like, what do you want? If you feel just bad about yourself because of social media and you think that it's the entire world, it's not. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. Anyway, so as Peris and Tally say goodbye, they hug for a little bit too long, and honestly, my opinion on guy and girl best friend dynamic is it's either the biggest green flag in the whole entire world or it's the biggest red flag ever. Because on one hand, it's a green flag because, oh, he can like women as just people without wanting to sleep with them. Crazy concept, I know. But then on the other hand, it could be that red flag where they're hoping to, you know, sleep with one of their best friends. They're waiting for their best friend, which is weird. But Peris was my boyfriend and Tally was his best friend. No, he's single in the movie. I'm breaking up with you, because the way that they're hugging, the way that they're going about things, you know that they're in love with each other. Then I'm literally gonna jump off a bridge. But Netflix really tried to pull the childhood friends to lovers trope. They really tried to pull a Shadow and Bone, but you are not Alina and Mal. They're not them, because they showed young Tally and young Peris how they met. They met when they were in school. He asked her what her nickname was. She said Squinty because her eyes are small. Weird, but okay. They become super close besties and whatever, and then one day she's staring at the pretty filter. She's just like trying to see how she looks pretty, and he says, no, we shouldn't do that. I know that we're super ugly to society, but how about we just be Delulu kings and queens and pretend for 1 second that we are actually so sexy. We'll bring the sexy back. What? And then he takes her little filter thing and he breaks it, but then he cuts his hand open by accident, creating a scar. You remember when I mentioned the scar? Yeah, that's the story behind it. But then Girly decided, oh yeah, I agree with you. I love that for her. She takes a shard of the glass and cuts her own hand. Hey, you didn't need to do that. You did not need to do that. You could have just agreed, but you had to get matching scars. It's giving Meg, what's her name? Not Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Fox. It's giving Megan Fox and MGK. Megan the Fox. Girly really said, I'm your biggest fan, I'll follow you until you let me. Like, she's literally Paris's biggest fan. Hey, don't ever do that for a man. It's not even just men at this point. I've seen how some of y'all are acting with your beloveds, with your crushes and your situationships and your partners. Don't do what Tally did. But at the end, while their hands are bleeding, Like any male character and female character in a YA book with forced sexual tension and no chemistry, they agree to be best friends forever. When I tell you that these two have no chemistry, I mean that. I say it a lot, but there is no couple in this movie. There's gonna be a few pairings in this movie. There's only one who has chemistry. Maybe it's because I've just binge watched I Kissed a Girl, which you should watch it. That reunion was crazy. There's only one couple I was rooting for. Of course they're not canon, because Netflix says, oh, I'm gonna make you suffer. So, fast forward a month, and Tally is constantly texting Nose. You can see through her old messages that she's been trying to reach him, and he has been ignoring her. Clearly the message is that Peris has changed and stuff has happened, but Tally, she does not recognize this. Honestly, I know that they're best friends, and if my best friend dropped off the radar too, I would feel the same way. So I understand why Tally is doing it. I just think that I can make fun of a movie, because I sat through 2 hours of this garbage, so I can take liberties where I want to. So Girly shows up to the bridge where they're supposed to meet. He's not there. Oh my gosh. Everyone acts surprised. This is the funniest scene in the whole entire movie. She literally looks like Edward Cullen on the hang on tight spider monkey scene. She's doing parkour up this bridge. Hang on tight spider monkey. Somehow she finds where he is and she goes to the party on the hunt to find him. So she's able to sneak into a pretty's party and she puts on a mask which Loki transforms her into someone pretty. Well, at least her outfit gets changed. So now that she can blend and she goes on the prowl for her man. And finally she goes and he does not recognize her until she takes off the mask and he's like, oh, Tally. And she's like, you don't call me Tally, you call me Squat. And bro is not happy to see her. He is showing no enthusiasm. He is thinking to himself, he's not thinking to himself, he says point blank, what are you doing here? Why are you here? And she says, oh, I was worried about you. You weren't answering my text. And he says, yeah, I don't know what we would talk about. We have nothing in common. And he says, well, maybe we can be best friends once you're pretty. Obliteration. But the thing about this relationship between Tally and Peris, we've seen all of 5 minutes of them. I know that if you haven't seen the movie, you don't know how much screen time they get. I'm not gonna do the math. I'm not that devoted, but I kid you not, I think it's pretty much 5 minutes, and that's me being generous, of them on screen together. There is nothing that I feel between them at all. I don't care about her, I don't care about him, and I really don't care about them together. Back to the party, alarms start going off because they sense that an Uggo is in their presence, and this girl is so dramatic. Instead of putting on her mask and blending in, no. She runs around like a chicken with its head cut off. She's bumping into everyone like it's Mario Kart. She steals a bungee jacket, which comes into play later, and she jumps off a building. She literally just jumps off the building. She's so dramatic. She's so dramatic. Queen, why did you do that? Why are you being so quirky? That was the only way you could think about escaping, is jumping off a building with a bungee jacket. And this gets packaged as bravery throughout the entire movie. I swear there's 4 different times where people say she's so bright. But maybe Bessie was just depressed and got lucky. So now, we're on the edge of our seat. We're asking ourselves, oh my gosh, is our queen gonna make it? Is our main character gonna survive even though there's at least like an hour and a half left of this movie? Of course she survives. But you know who saves her? Our skinny legend, Skinny. Skinny saves her, and then they have this cute little montage where they're laughing. Girls just wanna have fun. And they have way more chemistry than anyone in this whole entire movie. Way more chemistry than her and Peris. Way more chemistry than who's actually gonna be the male lead. I don't know how she didn't fold, but whatever. I knew Netflix would not do it, but I was really hoping they would go down the sapphic route. I don't think they did it in the books. I think I would have remembered me, a young child, a sapphic romance. I would have remembered. That would have been embedded in my soul. When it happened in Percy Jackson, it wasn't sapphic, but when there was a gay storyline in Percy Jackson, it was locked and loaded in my soul. But alas, here we are. Skinny and Tally, they bond, they connect, and we find out that Skinny's real name is Shay. So Shay and Tally, they both are getting closer and whatnot, but we see throughout the movie that they're a little not so subtle. Hence, that Shay is not interested in becoming pretty, but Tally is stupid, so she does not see any of these hints. She does not see any of these clues. So even though Tally has some radio rebel qualities about her, she is very much set on getting the surgery. For example, Shay doesn't have one of those profiles where you can see what you look like when you're pretty. She has smuggled books. So this reaches a point the day before Shay and Tally's birthday, which coincidentally, they have the exact same birthday. Yay. See, this goes back to my original point. Do they just have the same birthday? Like, were they just genetically manufactured so some of them would just always have the same birthday? So you only have to do it once a month? Or is this happening every single day? They never answered my question, but why would they? Shay says she's not gonna get the surgery. Tally says, you're crazy, you're ridiculous, what are you talking about? Shay says that she's gonna go to the smoke and that the smoke is a real place. You may be asking yourself, what is the smoke? It's like this fictitious place that no one has ever been to, but it's where people can work, people get to be ugly, and people get to read books, they get to be happy, which, hey, that's our life right now. And you saw what happened. But Tally is asking Shay, she says, have you been to the smoke? And Shay says, no, I haven't, but... And Tally just zones out after that. She says, girl, no. They weren't arguing, but they were very sad and brokenhearted, like the sapphic lovers that they were meant to be. So Shay says that she's not getting the surgery. Tally says she is getting the surgery, but Shay senses as an empath that there's some rebellion in there, and Shay leaves instructions for Tally on how to get to the smoke if Tally decides to not get the surgery. Yeah, so basically the smoke is where everyone is equal. People care about what's on the inside. They don't care if you're an ugly looking troll. And I'm gonna be honest, I would agree with Tally, because how are you gonna tell me about a place that you've never been to? How are you gonna tell me that I'm about to risk my entire life for a place that you haven't even been to? Girl, you need to be so for real right now. Happy birthday to our Virgo queen. It's finally time for her to get her surgery, and she's in the waiting room, and then lo and behold, a guy, one of the officials, pulls her aside and says, hey, come with us. And she tells on herself when she's in the back of the squad car. She says, is this about me stealing the bungee jacket when I was at the Peris party? Girl, shut up. You would make a terrible criminal, clearly. Ugh. But she is brought to see the head person of the surgery, Dr. Cable. And so Tally is with Dr. Cable, and Dr. Cable asks Tally, she says, hey, where's Shay? Shay did not show up for her surgery. And Tally says, I don't know where she is. And Dr. Cable said, well, we think you know where she is, and you're not getting your surgery until you tell us where she is. Imagine, you're condemned to be ugly for the rest of your life because of your friend? That's crazy. That's like how I got my best friend accidentally banned from Tinder. That's a different story for a different time. So she leaves, and then Peris sneaks into her room for the first time ever. He's finally reaching out to her, and he says, hey, you need to go and find Shay. Like, you need to tell them where she is. And Tally says, oh, I don't know. And he says, she's in danger, okay? You know, the guy who's running the smoke, he is brainwashing everyone. He is a terrible person. His name is David, and he is horrible. You need to save your friend. And she says, oh my God, Peris, you're so right. I'm going to tell them where Shay is. And she sees Dr. Cable, and Dr. Cable says, okay, wear this necklace and we will track you so we can find out where they are. You need to save your friend, and you need to save us, because the smoke and David, they are trying to destroy us. They are trying to take down everything, and they're terrible people. And so Dr. Cable gave her the option that she can either get the cosmetic surgery or she can go and find Shay, which it should have been a Barbie moment where she was like Birkenstock versus heel. You should have just chosen the surgery. Why do you need to save your friend? But I guess she cared so much, and she genuinely believed that she was in danger, so that's why she went. I don't know if that could have been me, but hey, this is why I was not the teenage main character in a dystopian novel. Teenage me probably would have done that, but me, 24-year-old me, So she takes the phrase, go outside and touch some grass, way too literally, because this girl is like the bootleg Katniss. I know that this book came out before The Hunger Games, but girly was not made out for the wilderness. She is dropping stuff. Maybe you should have just gotten the plastic surgery. You're not made for this. Once again, this movie has to tell us instead of showing us. So Dr. Cable is seen with Peris, and she thanks him for convincing Tally to go find Shay. And she's asking him how his experience has been since the procedure, and he said, oh, well, seeing Tally brought up feelings that I had, and it was really nice. So clearly you can see that they're being brainwashed by Dr. Cable. And she says, well, sometimes some pretties need some extra some extra and they need to become special. And so he goes through this procedure to become a special, which we'll get to later. But essentially they are these soldiers. They're soldiers. And so after her long, arduous journey through the wilderness, she wakes up to fire, but then lo and behold, someone, the strange man, rescues her, and he is revealed to be none other than the leader of the smoke, the revolutionary himself, David, who is so cute. Him and Shay are just so cute. Like, wow. He realizes that she was probably tracked, but he is not able to sense the tracker that's on her necklace. She still has the tracker intact, and then her and Shay are reunited. Everything is kumbaya, basically, and Croy is the only person who says, wait a second, who is this girl? Why are we not sus of her? Like, she could be for the enemy. And then Shay and Dave are saying, no, we trust her, which is so embarrassing because Croy has such good points. When you have a cause that's so valuable, you have this random person coming all of a sudden, I would be sus of them too. Because the thing is, no one has ever made the journey from where they live to the smoke by themselves. Tally is the first person to do so, so naturally he's super suspicious. But no one else is, which is so dumb. All these characters are dumb. Whether you're ugly or pretty, you're just dumb, I guess. But Shay and Tally, when they reunite and they're so happy to see each other, Shay figures out that Tally is only there to bring Shay back, and Shay is kind of upset. She's saying, no, like, I don't want to go back to that society. Now, Tally doesn't disclose that she's working for Dr. Cable and that she has a tracker on her. She just says that she's trying to bring Shay back. And so Shay says, hey, okay, like, just give it a few days and see if you like it here, but you need to decide sooner or later if you want to go. Like, I'm staying, but you need to decide if you want to help or if you want to leave. Fast forward, they're going on a little mission together, and Shay falls out of the helicopter. And Tally, she doesn't think twice. She jumps out of the helicopter, even though David and Crow are like, no, no, no. She jumps out to save her best friend. They save the day. And for David, that shows that she is really there for the past. She's there for the resistance. She's there for the cause. She was willing to risk her life to save Shay. She's a good one. And Croy is still saying, hey, all these weird things are happening the second that she came, okay? There's fires. The specials have found them. The C in Croy stands for common sense because he's the only one who has common sense in this whole entire movie. It's ridiculous. I just don't understand why Shay and David are just such dum-dums. You guys are supposed to be the smart people. So smart, you see that the procedure is not worth it. The transformation is not worth it. But you're still so dum-dum. I just... So Tally learns more about the smoke. She gets to embrace their culture, and everyone works there, even the old people. There's no money. You see what's on the inside, and she's just having a dilly-dally time. She's thinking to herself, wait, if they're brainwashing us, why is it low-key working? I want to stay here. She's just a happy little camper, and then she finally gets to meet David's parents because he was born in the smoke. Yes, he was not born in Tally's society. He was born in the smoke because his parents were apparently scientists who helped with the transformation. But, dun dun dun, because it's a dystopian movie, we already gotta have some drama, we gotta have some teeth. So when David's parents were working on making the transformation and stuff, they discovered that the real purpose of the procedure was to place legions inside of people's minds so that they can control them. If you're still awake watching the movie, that was not your reaction. First of all, most people are probably asleep. The other half, they're probably on their phones. And the 1% who's actually paying attention, they're probably making YouTube videos. But yeah, that's supposed to be the shocking discovery. And Tally is shook to her core. She's thinking to herself, what? They're the bad ones? What? I'm helping them. David's parents are super smart doctors. They have figured out a cure for the transformation, a way to reverse it, but they're missing an important ingredient that they can only get in the city. And obviously they're not going to sneak back into the city just for potentially getting the cure. Remember that. That's going to come up later. My question is, who wrote this movie? Was this someone who was in the pandemic during their script writing class, and so now they're just relying on ChatGPT to give them ideas and to write a script? Because the dialogue is terrible. Everything about this is terrible. Clearly you're one of the kids who weren't paying attention in their Zoom classes. You were too busy doing TikTok dance. Whoa. So Tally is so fed up and overwhelmed after hearing how wonderful of a cause the smoke is. She chucks off her necklace, which has the tracker in it, and throws it into a fire in an attempt to destroy it. What do you think happened? First of all, they never told her how to trigger off the alarm with the necklace. So wouldn't you think that altering it at any point would make it go off? But obviously our protagonist had empty no thoughts. So clearly she was not thinking ahead. The guilt is eating Tally up, okay? It's eating her alive, and she's trying to confess to David what she's been doing, but he interprets her, you know, blaming herself and whatnot as her just growing up in a bad circumstance. He's like, you know, the way we grow up, we don't have a choice over that. It's about who we are now, which is so funny. Just you wait until you eat your words. And then they kiss. I forgot that they kissed until I saw it in my notes. But yeah, they kiss at this point. Okay, he's hot and everything, but they have no chemistry. I see them together for like 5 minutes. Why could they just be friends at this point? There's no romance. But some of you may be thinking, oh, like maybe she just didn't talk about the romance parts because it was boring. There was only one scene that was slightly romantic, and it was he gave her his gloves, and Shay was like, wait, David likes you. Gifts are super meaningful here. Because we don't have money, we use gifts. So the way he gave you his gloves, that means he likes you. You need to decide if you're gonna stay or if you're gonna leave. The alarm went off, and Dr. Cable finds the smoke. She starts rounding up people, the specials are there, and David and Tally, I don't know what they were doing, but they're hidden. Dr. Cable says, hey, where is your son, to the doctors? Because obviously she knows them. They work together to create the transformation. So she knows that they know where David is. And so she says, hey, where is David? Where is the leader? We want him. And the parents are saying, we don't know where he is. What are you talking about? What is it, David? What is it, David? David? They're playing pretend. And Dr. Cable says, David, come out, come out. And David does try to go out, but Tally says, no, you can't go out. There's no point. And lo and behold, at some point, Dr. Cable was just sped up. And so she has one of the specials who is actually Peris. Oh my gosh, crazy! Has his father exterminated from the earth. And David and Tally run out when that happens. You should have just stayed hidden at that point. You know, your dad is already gone. Why are you gonna make it worse now? His dad is gone because of Peris and because of Tally's actions. And then Tally is sobbing. She's saying, I didn't know anyone would get hurt. You promised. Da-da-da-da. Even though Dr. Cable did not make any of those promises. And everyone figures out that Tally was the traitor. Shay is like, I vouch for you. I defended you. And David is completely hurt because this girl low-key got his dad. If there's one trope that stresses me out more than any other trope, it's the betrayal trope. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. This happens in a lot of books, but it just stresses me out because how can you bounce back from that? I have trust issues already. If you're a normal, caring, healthy human being, I'm already gonna have trust issues. Let alone when you genuinely give me a reason to not trust you. Enemies to lovers, we're not bouncing back from that. It's game over. I don't know. These people say that they have trust issues, but do you? The way that you're so easy to forgive people, I don't know. Maybe I'm the problem, it's me. I don't think it's me though. I think y'all need to have better standards. Tally sees that Peris is now a special, and in Wreck-It Ralph fashion, Bob the Builder is shaking in his boots right now. She thinks that she can fix him, and she says, Peris, Peris! For a second, he pauses, but then he goes back to being a special. Dr. Cable tells everyone that they're all gonna have to get plastic surgery. Oh no, they have to get plastic surgery! I mean, obviously, they don't want the legions in their mind, yada, yada, yada. And so she whisks them away, and Tally makes a run for it. David manages to escape, and someone says, wait, shouldn't we go after them? And Dr. Cable says, no, they're gonna be back. We don't even need to go after them. We're not about to use our resources. And so Tally and David, they are reunited, and he's mad. He's upset. He's like, I trusted you. And she says, I didn't know. Da, 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 da. And he says, I don't want to work with you. I don't trust you. And she says, well, they're taken back to a place you've never been. They're taken back to a place that I know inside and out. You need my help. You don't have to trust me, but you do have to follow me, which that doesn't make sense. He needs to trust you to a certain degree to follow you. What are you talking about? So he agrees to follow Tally in order to rescue his mother, his friends, and everyone. And so they go through this whole shenanigan-esque activity to break in. Honestly, it was super easy. I'm not gonna even lie to you. And then her and David snuck in. They were able to release all the prisoners except Shay was missing. And she's like, where's Shay? Where's Shay? And Croy says, yeah, she's taken to surgery. And so her and David, they're running, they're sprinting, they're trying to get to Shay before it's too late. And they enter, and Bestie has the bold glamour filter on. They did the surgery on Shay. It was pretty funny. They take Shay with them, and they're all trying to run and escape, and they run into Peris, and naturally David, he's upset because this man, offed his father, and so they start getting into a fight and whatnot, but then Tally's like, wait, no, and Peris is hanging off the edge of a building, and he says, squint, and then he falls to his demise. I mean, obviously that's what they want you to think. He's probably still alive, he's probably still around, but he recognized her at the very end. Womp womp, so sad, said no one ever. The gang escaped because the mother, since she was held captive in the city, she was able to get the final piece of the antidote that she was missing and that she couldn't get from outside the city. So now they have the completed formula for the antidote because she was able to sneak all the other ingredients into David's bag. So now they have a cure. But the thing is, stupid Shay, because she's pretty now, she says, I don't want that. I like being pretty. I don't want your antidote. That's disgusting. Tally is saying, okay, well, let's just force her to do it. She didn't want the surgery. But then David's mom is saying, no, if we force a procedure on these people without their consent, that makes us just as bad as the other people. So they say, no, we're not going to give her the procedure. Once she agrees to the antidote, we'll give it to her, but otherwise no. And so now they don't know what to do because obviously they can't test it on themselves because only Shay has a procedure. And so Tally, as a little brave girl she is, she says, I volunteer as tribute to get the plastic surgery done, and I promise I will find a way to remember you all, and you can do the antidote on me. And then David's saying, no, but what if you don't remember us? And she says, no, I didn't know myself before, but I know myself now, and I will remember and help you all, and I will be your guinea pig to see if the antidote works. See, now I'm interested. Now that I'm recounting the story to you, I'm low-key interested in reading the books again. But Shay, not Shay. See, I don't even care about their name. At the end, Tally goes back to Dr. Cable and she says, I want to be pretty. I want the procedure. And so she gets the procedure. Honestly, she does not look that different. I'm not going to even lie to you. But we see her look off into the sunset with the procedure and we see that she's playing with the scar on her hand, alluding that she'll probably remember who she is. She kept her shred of humanity. Unlike Peris, who was too weak. Boom, boom, boom. Weakling, weakling, weakling. And that's how the movie ends. Wow, I can't wait for the sequel. Yeah. Even just explaining that movie was low-key hard because it was just so all over the place and it was kind of just a lot of nothing. So it was hard for me to recount it to you guys. I hope it was cohesive enough. Maybe watch another video first, a recap, and then watch this video because I don't know if I explained that well enough, but honestly, hey, who knows? So all in all, what a terrible movie. There was no sapphic subplot, no chemistry between any other romantic interests, dialogue was stupid, everyone was stupid, everything was stupid, every part was stupid. The dialogue was written by a 12-year-old who never finished updating their Wattpad story, characters who have the depth of a kiddie pool. This movie was terrible, and it wasn't even enjoyable terrible, it was bad terrible. I know within a year I'm not going to remember any of this movie. If they come out with a sequel, I'm going to think to myself, what even happened in the first one? And I'm not going to rewatch it. I'll watch this video again. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know all of your comments down below. Also, let me know what you want me to make commentary videos on. I'm going to be doing Tyler Perry movies, Tubi movies, Heartstopper, Wife Swap, Love is Blind, Club, another club, another club, another club. I'm going to be doing Outer Banks too. So let me know. For my suffering, all I ask is that you please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, comment down below what are your thoughts on this movie. Also, I might read a Colleen Hoover book. I'm not gonna give her any money. I have my resources for my free books. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you suffering with me. Have you feel like we connected? Do you think that we're bonded now? Also, you should follow me on Instagram. I am not like the other commentary channels. No besties. I post on Instagram. I posted today, as a matter of fact. I posted a solo date. Crazy. Crazy. I know, because I feel like most commentary channels don't really use their Instagram, which honestly valid. So valid for that. And thank you for watching. Yeah.